We Jewish people have a holiday which is called the holiday of happiness. Zman Simchatenu. It's the holiday which is called Sukkot. We sit in a booth, eat our meals in a booth. Some people sleep. It's just a regular booth made of anything. It can be made, the walls, and the roof has to be made of foliage. It's called the time of happiness. There's also another commandment in this time. You take a lulav and an etrog, it's like the central branch of a palm tree, and take other types of vegetation, also put them together and shake it. Anyway, so it's called happiness. What's happy? So let me tell you a story. This was about, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. I went to New York. I live in Israel. I went to the Lubavitch Rebbe for the holidays, for Tishrei, and the holiday of Sukkot. And every day in the intermediate days, I would take a lulav and etrog of my own, and I would go into this Manhattan, and I would stand on some arbitrary street corner, and I would ask people if they were Jewish, and if they wanted to do this commandment of taking a lulav and an etrog. It's very simple. You just make a blessing and just shake for 1 second. The whole commandment takes, 2 minutes. And one time I got out of the subway, and there was a big Chabad had built a sukkah. All the Chabad people, they were standing in the entrance of the sukkah. So I stood at the back of the sukkah, which was where the people were coming out of the subway. And I asked people if they wanted to do lulav and etrog. There came out a whole group of youth that were, I guess, punk rock or something, punk rockers, whatever they call them. They shaved their hair, and they just have this big sort of like a rooster in the middle, colored pink and blue, and all sorts of weird piercings and everything like that, and tattoos, bizarre tattoos, and they were all dressed very strangely with all sorts of studs and things like that. And I said, "Are you Jewish?" And they said, "No, we're not Jewish. What are you doing?" So I said, "Oh, it's a Jewish holiday today." "Oh, really?" And these people are like bored out of their brains, so they anything, interest. So they said, "What is that thing you're holding?" I said, "Oh, it's a lulav and an etrog." And they said, "Oh, that's it's what is it? Organic. Oh, organic. It's an organic holiday. It's good." So I said, "But the main thing of the holiday is that there's this booth, and we sit in this booth. We eat all our meals. The booth reminds us that when the Jews went out of Egypt. You ever hear the story? Jews went out of Egypt 3,300 years ago, and God protected them with clouds. He surrounded them with these clouds, and this booth that we sit in." So I see that they're already getting, a little bit sort of, bored with this whole story I'm telling. So they're sort of partially interested. So I said, the message is, it's a message for all mankind, that anytime a person wants to do something good, no matter who he is, that God will surround him and protect him. They said, okay. I said, or in other language, I didn't know what I was saying. I didn't, I was just talking to them. I said, or in other words, no one is ever alone. I said those words, no one is ever alone, those 4 words. As soon as I said that, I noticed all of them, their hands sort of fell down and their shoulders, and all of them looked up, and one of them said, "That's a good message. That's a good message." And everybody said, "Yeah." And I said, "Listen, I don't shake hands with women, only with men." I shook hands with all the men. I said, nothing personal. And everybody said, "That's very nice, beautiful," and they left. I realized from this that people feel alone. And that one of the best gifts we can have is that we're never alone. God is always surrounding us, and that makes us happy. When you know that God is with you every instant, He's creating us, and He loves us, and He protects us. Whether we're talking about Jews or non-Jews, we Jews have a message to bring to the world, like I said many times. We're the chosen people to tell the non-Jews how much God loves them. He's creating them. He protects them. He's a Melech, Ozer, Moshiach, Mogen. That's the message the Mashiach will bring to the world. No one is ever alone. Everyone is important. That's why we need Mashiach now.